What's up, Fight fans? Today we're diving deep into an intriguing rematch between Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. These two warriors clashed before, with Ankalaev pulling off an impressive victory against the fan favorite Pereira. But now, the stakes are even higher. In this video, I'm going to break down what happened in the first fight, how both fighters match up stylistically, and why I believe this will be a totally different fight, most likely ending in a finish. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's get into it. Everyone expected Pereira, the former kickboxing world champion, to showcase his devastating striking as usual. He's known for that legendary brutal leg kicks and the sheer knockout power that carried him to UFC gold. But what we saw was a very different Pereira. Instead of being the aggressive, confident striker we're used to, Alex was hesitant. He wasn't letting his hands go. And why was that? It was because Magomed Ankalaev came in with a brilliant strategy. He didn't actually need to shoot for takedowns to win. He just needed to threaten them, constantly making Pereira think about the possibility of being taken down, and it worked perfectly. Pereira did a good job defending the takedowns that came his way, but the bigger impact was the mental aspects. That fear of the wrestling threat shut down Pereira's offense. He fought not to lose rather than fighting to win, and that's where Ankalaev really exposed him. Not with ground and pound, not with wrestling domination, but with striking. Ankalaev stood toe-to-toe with Pereira and proved that his striking skills, his distance management, and his composure were enough to beat Pereira in his own wheelhouse. It was mine that night. Alex Pereira has had one of the fastest rises to UFC stardom we've ever seen. He beat Israel Adesanya. He's knocked out some of the best strikers in the division and former champions. But if you look at his UFC resume closely, you'll notice something. He's only really fought strikers up until Ankalaev. Guys who wanted to stand with him, guys who were willing to test themselves in the kickboxing range or prove something right by knocking him out, since Alex Pereira was the knockout artist. But Ankalaev isn't just another striker. He's one of the most well-rounded fighters in the light heavyweight division. He has elite wrestling, he has crisp, powerful striking, and most importantly, he knows how to blend the two together to create openings. That's something Pereira has struggled with. When you take away his ability to dictate a pure striking match, his options start to look limited. He's older now, past his prime, and his window to keep dominating with just striking is closing fast. Now, on the other hand, Magomed Ankalaev, this guy is the definition of a complete fighter. He has strong wrestling fundamentals, great timing on level changes, a disciplined, patient striking style, and serious power in his hands as well. Yes, he's not a knockout artist or anything like that, but he's really precise and consistent and pretty much accurate with his striking. What makes him so dangerous against someone like Pereira is his unpredictability. Alex doesn't know if Ankalaev is going to shoot for a takedown or throw a hard counter right. That hesitation gives Ankalaev all the control he needs in the first fight. Ankalaev didn't even have to lean heavily on the wrestling to win. But in this rematch, I honestly believe we're going to see him mix it up even more. In my opinion, he's going to land the takedowns, establish top controls, and punish Pereira. At the same time, he's not afraid to stand and trade. He's already proven he can hang with Pereira in the striking exchanges, and unlike most of Pereira's opponents, Ankalaev doesn't get overwhelmed or reckless when Alex starts throwing bombs. But another thing to watch out for is Alex Pereira's leg kicks. It's always been a problem for every single person he fights. In fact, it's one of his best arsenals. But on the other hand, you get Ankalaev, who is literally the worst with the leg kicks. He doesn't really handle them well. His defense has improved in that, but those leg kicks are going to be a problem. They were in the first fight, and I think Alex Pereira needs to stay consistent. Instead of trying to avoid the takedowns or proving he can stuff takedowns, I think he needs to focus on the leg kicks rather than trying to knock him out. Main question is, what changes in the rematch? For Pereira, the only real path to victory is going all in. I think he should be tactical, he should be smart, he should make the right decisions, but he needs to try to finish this fight as soon as possible like he always does. The Pereira that made everybody fall in love with him. Yes, it can be reckless, yes, it can be dangerous, but in my opinion, he really doesn't have a choice, okay? You're not gonna play the tactical point for point striking with someone like Ankalaev. Again, Ankalaev has good boxing and he goes with the volume, he stays with the pressure, but he makes good decisions and he's pretty accurate, and his defense, his boxing defense is actually good. So going tit for tat, trying to calculate when to throw the bomb, when to defend, all that is good, but Pereira needs to go crazy and try to knock him out, because this is probably going to be his last chance to fight for a title, at least in the light heavyweight division. So the point is, Pereira has to commit to his striking. He has to trust that his knockout power can find Ankalaev's chin. If he hesitates again, he allows Ankalaev to set the pace, and it's going to be worse than the first fight. It just is, because this time I think Ankalaev himself is going to be gunning for a finish. I think he's going to try to make a statement, because these guys already ran into each other several times and their interaction says a lot.
Vou bater de mão aberta na sua cara.
То же самое, не нужно словами бросаться. Мы ожидаем что-то октября будет. Давайте сделаем это в ринге. Зачем говорить пустые слова?
Ele falou, cara, na verdade a gente vai lutar no dia 4 de outubro, a gente não tem que trocar palavras mais.
Eu não falei nada, ele sempre falou. Eu nunca falei nada, ele sempre falou. E agora quando chegou frente a frente é cuzão.
I think Alex Pereira has been acting different. He has less of the stoic mindset that he had. Take a look at the interaction that Alex Pereira had with Jamal Hill before their fight. You could tell Pereira was the stoic one. He wasn't bothered. He was confident with himself. But with his interaction with Magomed Ankalaev, he seems upset. I don't even know why he's upset. He just seems different, in a different mindset. I think he's really mad that Ankalaev took the belt from him. I don't know if he just imagined that he would stay undefeated, which is just unrealistic. But hey, fighter's mindset is not something I'm trying to break down. But yeah, I think mentally speaking, Ankalaev obviously has the edge. I mean, this man has been calling for the rematch before Pereira even said so. Pereira had the whole thing where he tweeted that he was mad at the UFC for offering him the fight last minute, even though he's the king of taking last minute fights. But I understood his frustration. He then deleted his tweet and lied about it, but then backtracked and tried to express why he was upset. It's just been a lot of things that Pereira has been doing that's unlike him, and I think mentally Ankalaev has already defeated Pereira. That is going to play out in this fight, because it's going to determine if Alex Pereira is going in there to fight emotionally or if he's going to be calm, stoic. You know, it might just be something that might not translate, but it's really saying a lot. Ankalaev knows he can beat Pereira on the feet now. He has the confidence, he has the data from the first fight and from watching Pereira's fights, okay? And he knows Pereira is vulnerable to the takedown threats. That gives Ankalaev the green light to push even harder to try to land those takedowns and land those ground and pounds. I think in this fight, Ankalaev is going to be much more aggressive with his wrestling. He's going to chain his takedown attempts, force Pereira against the cage, and make him work defensively from the opening bell. And once Pereira starts to gas out, Ankalaev will have free reign to open up with his striking as well. This is why I believe the rematch won't just look similar, it will look worse for Pereira. Ankalaev already showed he can neutralize Pereira's offense. He's going to add the wrestling on top, and that's a recipe for a finish, okay? To be fair, Pereira still has that one weapon, his knockout power. If he wants any chance in this fight, he has to, number one, throw with conviction early, punish Ankalaev's legs with calf kicks to slow his movement, force Ankalaev with wild exchanges where the left hook can land. But if Pereira plays it safe again, if he tries to game plan too much instead of just fighting for his life, it's going to be another long night for him. So here's the prediction. I think Alex Pereira comes out more aggressive in the rematch. He knows he can't afford to be hesitant, but aggression against a fighter as composed and well-rounded as Magomed Ankalaev is a dangerous gamble. Ankalaev is going to weather the early storm, start mixing in his takedowns, and as the fight goes on, Pereira will slow down. That's when Ankalaev will take over. I believe we're looking at an Ankalaev finish this time. I just think that's what's going to happen. Most likely by ground and pound, TKO in the middle rounds, maybe round 3 or 4. At the end of the day, Pereira's age, limited grappling skills, and predictable game plan makes this a nightmare matchup for him. Okay, Ankalaev is in his prime. He's complete, and he already has the confidence of beating Pereira once before. So, do you think Pereira can land the knockout and shock the world again? Or is Ankalaev about to put an exclamation mark on their rivalry and cement himself as the true king of the division? Drop your prediction in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button if you want more breakdowns like this. Don't forget to subscribe for more fight analysis. This rematch is going to be fireworks in my opinion, but I'm leaning heavily toward Ankalaev. But let me know what you think in the comments. All right, until next time, fight fans, stay sharp.